And you need my help, just like I helped with Conquest and all this evil.
G-A-P. Cap!
Why is everyone so nervous about fighting this Thragg guy? No way he lives up to the hype.
Get over here!
Should I tell him or you? Let's both tell him.
You got knocked the fuck out, bitch!
So, yeah, Thrag heard all of y'all talking mad spicy about him being a fraud. Let's just hope the Grand Regent is feeling merciful with the apologies or everybody is going to venture on.
And I want to apologize to all of you for what I did. It was very wrong and I am very sorry. I just would like to move on and lead a normal life. And I hope this apology impresses you, even though my grandmother made me do it and I don't really mean it.
In all my years of seeing multiple characters going on Fraud Watch, I have never seen someone beat the fraud allegations in a week. Most of the time it takes weeks, months, literal years to clear one's names of the fraud allegations. But Thrag said,
Now fuck that! On everything, y'all got me fucked up! On my mama, y'all got me fucked up!
during the entirety of episode 7, Grand Regent Thragg was stomping the yard on everybody. And we see further down the line how diabolical Thragg is before and after the assassination of Argol. The episode starts off with a flashback with Emperor Emperor Argol agreeing with eliminating 25% of the population of these aliens, and if they don't submit, annihilate the entire civilization. You're probably thinking, man, what did he do to make them niggas that mad? Well, they try to pull a Harriet Tubman freeing the slaves type rebellion because they were tired of working for the Viltrumite masters and blew it up. So Emperor Megatron's council is discussing what they should do about this retaliation. Receding Hairline and Optimus are having a back and forth, and Receding Hairline says just nuke the planet to strike fear into their hearts. Optimus claims they're only wilding out because we treat them like slaves and kill them for the smallest inconvenience. Treat a person like a dog, don't be surprised when they bite. Optimus goes on saying what the species did earns their respect since they had the strength to fight back against their tyrants, and that Viltrumite's code of honor is strength. While these two kept debating, Megatron shuts them both up and then asks a young Thragg, "What do you think?" Thragg jumps out the gate and says, "Us Viltrumites must educate them due to their weakness. While we do respect strength, their lack of it goes against the natural order and must be dealt with." Megatron, gleaming with pride, couldn't agree more, and they clap half the species out of existence. Optimus, repulsed with the Viltrumites' cruelty, pulls the Etio Auditore and assassinates Megatron. Oh, Optimus, you make the Brotherhood proud. The Viltrumites have a beautiful funeral service. After singing the gospel truth, Thrag turns around with the Viltrumite chop hand in position at this dark-skinned black man demanding, "Hey, will you betray me?" He says no, and Thrag doesn't believe him and decapitates him.
You need to leave!
My thing is, Thrag has no proof or evidence that this handsome melanated brother will betray him. He just went off vibes and straight up murked that man. After publicly executing Dark Chocolate, he turns to the crowd and commands, "Welcome to the first purge. This is not a test. For the next 3 days, all types of hands will be thrown. Bless Emperor Megatron and Planet Viltrum, a nation reborn. Go and obliterate any weakness you see." After that awe-inspiring inauguration speech, everybody goes apeshit and kills each other on sight. It was a bloody massacre. Nobody was safe during the Great Purge. Even the children were catching hands. Fucking children! A group of kids circle around this one little black boy and stomped him out of existence.
That's racist!
Now, I'm not gonna say it's racist since everybody was getting jumped, but
Might you also betray us someday?
Gotcha, bitch!
after many days of the Great Purge, Thrag leaves his throne room to see nothing but
However strong you think you are, Thrag is stronger.
billions beyond billions of Viltrumites are wiped from existence, all because one man said so. And yeah, they have the nerve to wonder why they're down to just 50 when they're doing clownery moves like killing your own race. Okay, we switch back to the present with Team Jump of Viltrumite, and this is y'all squad? Before this episode even dropped, someone made a meme of how this is gonna look compared to the comic, and wow, the difference is baffling. How do you go from this to this? Anyways, Optimus is hyping up the team, and we see Mark send a goodbye vid to Eve because even he knows he might not make it back. We see everyone eating their last meal because they're heading straight for death row. If y'all been on this channel for a while, y'all already know what my last meal is gonna be. Seafood broil. 20 pounds with crab cakes, crab legs, crab everything. I'm such a fat ass. While everyone is fantasizing what their last meals are, we see the real fraud of this season. Oliver opens his mouth, flapping his gums. I don't know why everyone is so scared of this Thrag. He doesn't live up to the hype.
You know, at one point I thought my right ear was not working correctly because the shit that I heard come out of that room.
Oliver, hun, respectfully, shut up. This cocky attitude that you have since you were 1 needs to be nipped in the bud. May I remind you, you were getting easily packed up by basic level Viltrumites not even 2 months ago, and you decided to attack Conquest again?
Eat this, you damn shit!
Are you okay?
I don't need your help.
A few moments later.
Is this nigga serious?
Oliver, you can talk spicy when you finally catch a Viltrumite body. Other than that,
Shut up!
before Team Coalition heads out, we see Mark and Nolan stress and warn Oliver that for the love of God, don't stray from the group or try to fight Thrag alone. Remember how Conquest put belt to ass on you a couple months back? Thrag is 100 times worse and will most definitely kill you on sight. Don't be hard-headed.
I won't.
That was a fucking lie.
Team Coalition finally arrives at Planet Viltrum, believing they have the element of surprise and about to get a jump on them, only for Thrag to be posted up standing there
Menacingly!
Turns out it's a setup, with Thula slicing Optimus in the back and the remaining Viltrumites coming out surrounding them. While Thrag is aura farming, everybody else is doing their thing. We see Kitty putting in work and Zoe catching more Viltrumite bodies than Oliver. Seriously, throughout this entire season, Oliver didn't catch a single body. If anything, it was his own body getting clapped every episode. While Thrag watches him fight, this man is so confident he didn't flinch when Space Racer shot his Infinity Ray at him. Nolan decides he'll be the first to fight Thrag, attempts to punch his lights out, but oh gosh. Thrag easily moves back, having this man Nolan punching nothing. By the time he looks up, Thrag, in this perfect pose, has his fist cocked back, sends him flying into planet Viltrum. Nolan crash lands and gets up out of the rubble and notices Thrag floating near him. Damn, weren't you just in space? Thrag tries to have a civil conversation with Nolan. Come back to the dark side, brother, and all will be forgiven. I'll even give you my limited edition fur cloak. But Nolan clocks Thrag that planet Viltrum is nothing but a wasteland and you aren't my family. Oh, so you rocking with the man that made the virus, he your family? And you know what's really interesting about family? They're always the first ones to betray you. Are you going to position yourself with a man who eradicated our species and is willing to do it again? Nolan goes on to say he doesn't trust Optimus and he's a changed man, that Earth's Poom Poom changed him. Like honestly, Thrag, you gotta try Earth's Poom Poom. It's like the best Poom Poom in the galaxy. Both came face to face and for a hot second, I thought they were gonna kiss. Thrag hits the fighting stance and charges a punch, his fist creating a mini tornado sucking Nolan in. Did this man Thrag become an airbender? Can you imagine Thrag in the Avatar universe as an airbender? He definitely would have killed Ozai. With the nastiest uppercut, he sends Nolan flying back up out of planet Viltrum back to the battlefield, making a home run. Thrag goes back to his dark side pose until Oliver comes flying in. What is he doing? Please, for everything that is precious, Oliver, stop! Oliver, you can't be this hard-headed. Not even an hour ago, your father and brother explicitly told you to not engage Thrag. If you couldn't do anything to a monster like Conquest, what the hell are you gonna do to a demon like Thrag? Did you not see your daddy flying by like a baseball? Oliver speeds in with a right hook, but Thrag easily catches it and crushes his hand, and look at Oliver's face.
I'm in danger.
What's gonna happen to you next could have been easily avoidable if you just listened. Thrag looks at Oliver with revulsion because it's disrespectful of Nolan to spread around his seed to make such a weak son. Thrag pulls a sin button and declares, and pimp slaps Oliver, tearing off his arm and jaw at once.
I told you. What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? 'Cause I told you. And when did I tell you? A long time ago. And what did I say will happen when I told you? Exactly what just happened.
A small part of me feels bad saying this, but I felt nothing. He was warned multiple times by several people that Thrag is a demon incarnated. Engaging him on a 1v1 means instant death. It's like all the warnings went out from one ear out the other.
Why is everyone so nervous about fighting this Thrag guy? No way he lives up to the hype.
Fatality. Flawless victory.
They should have left Oliver back on Telescria. Hell, ship him back to Earth, cause why is he here? He's not contributing to the team. He's the weak link, the liability. That's why Zoe and Alan make such a good duo together. They play off one another with the offense and defense. They have been protecting and saving each other this entire season, and their friendship is honestly adorable. What has Oliver done other than being clowned on? I'll wait.
Just as I thought. Trash.
Mark, devastated at what happened to his foolish brother, cries out,
I killed Conquest. I'll kill you too.
You don't have to kill him.
I don't like this look Anissa gave him. It's like she wants to jump his bones all of a sudden. Thrag is now slightly interested in Mark and tells him,
Show me.
Mark zooms in with nothing but pure fury pumping his veins, ready to punch Thrag's head off. But the Grand Regent, he doesn't dodge, he doesn't weave, he doesn't do a little joop. He blocks Mark's attack with his fresh, clean, crispy ass lineup, giving the hardest impact frames imaginable. They really emphasize that Thrag is a demon and everyone who encounters him will die. Thrag, not impressed by Mark, grabs him by the neck and bitch slaps him away. Damn! Both Grayson brothers got backhanded within minutes of each other.
Meanwhile,
We see my ferocious kitty tagging in to fight Thrag, only for him to break his jaw open with one punch, breaking his jetpack open before flinging him away. Nolan sees the severity of the situation and realizes if they don't make a different game plan, they're all going to die. So, if you can't beat them in the art of throwing hands, nuke the planet! With the help of Space Racer, he shoots his gun at planet Viltrum, causing a massive explosion that destroys Viltrum. This leaves everyone staring in shock, but in a few minutes, we'll see why this was a mistake. Getting a first row view of his beloved planet getting destroyed, his home gone, his support skull forever departed triggers something inside Thrag. It awakens something that should have stayed asleep. Thrag lets out a scream with tears streaming down his face. You know, I can relate to Thrag on this. Not losing your planet because a bunch of weaklings fail to jump you, but getting so angry you cry. When I get extremely frustrated or angry at someone, I don't yell, scream, punch walls. I cry because I'm doing everything in my power to not hurt you. If you're making someone genuinely mad and they start crying, find the nearest exit. When you see them breathing in and out trying to calm themselves and they start laughing hysterically, you have less than 10 seconds to run. Listen, repressed rage is a real thing. But unlike the rest of us who cry to contain our anger, Thrag launches himself looking straight into Optimus' eyes and rips his head off his body.
Do you know you have 30 minutes? Are you kidding me? 30, yes.
Well, at least Optimus is with Megatron again. Thrag looks at the Graysons, telling them, "Who's next?" Grabbing Nolan and goes into town on his face. Thrag has been wailing on Nolan for so long, he got a black eye, starting to look like his son after the season 1 finale. Mark, thinking he's tries to jump in with the assist just to get punched in the throat, leaving him breathless, hacking up a lung. Nolan attempts to attack, but Thrag breaks his arm, tossing him away, and Mark sees death racing towards him.
Would you A, smile and ask for more, or B, move the hell out the way?
Mark, choosing the second option, runs away.
Motherfucker, run! Oh, nigga, right there, he's right behind me, right there. Hey, please stop!
Look at the genuine fear in Mark's eyes. He has faced countless opponents, from his dad, Big Head Milk Dud, his evil variants, and Conquest. Out of all of them, Thrag is the only one to invoke genuine, pure, unadulterated fear out of Mark. Thrag grabs Mark by the scalp, giving him that Broly treatment, and just when he's about to clap Mark, Nolan body checks him. Dad, how do we beat him?
We are cooked. Yep, we are absolutely cooked.
But Thrag was not gonna let them have a tender father-son moment and pierces Nolan through the stomach. Damn. Like father, like son, the entire Grayson family stays getting fucked up. This man Thrag ain't finished yet. He pulls up on Mark, headbutts the rings out of him, and stabs his meaty fingers into Mark's eyes. Ooh, I'm getting flashbacks to Jeepers Creepers. Thrag looks up to see his decimated planet and decides enough Viltrumite bodies have been dropped today. There are so few of us left, and he releases Mark, allowing the Graysons to live.
I'm a real nigga, boy! I'm a real nigga, boy! I'm a straight nigga! I don't need none of it!
Floating in space for gosh knows how long before being found by the Coalition. And after that embarrassing one-sided battle with Thrag, it's been a couple of weeks and we see the Graysons are alive and well with Oliver inside this healing tube with a new mechanical arm and jaw. Watch how he wakes up and says, "I fought Thrag." Thrag was right. Oliver is not built for this. Mark gets the 411 that Thrag and the remaining Viltrumites are MIA until Mark makes a horrifying realization that they have gone to Earth. It's the way Cecil is gonna have a panic attack seeing 40 dots pop up on his screen. This man was just celebrating that Earth is now Viltrumite free for the first time in 20 years. And yes, the Viltrumites did pull up, but don't worry, all we need is Paul and the Immortal. They got this. The second they descended onto Earth, all hell broke loose. It was basically the movie 2012, every natural disaster happening all at once. Meanwhile, Thrag in his Piccolo stance watches the mayhem and colonization unfold, but turns out it was all a nightmare that Mark was having. Girl, it's the way I thought the Viltrumites actually pulled up and turned the planet every way loose. By the time they enter Earth's orbit, Mark leaves with the swiftness, heading straight for home, expecting to see the worst. But once he gets there, everything is exactly the way he left it. No signs that the Viltrumites are there, especially Thrag. Mark heads home embracing Mama Grayson, and here we learn they've been gone for 10 months. That's 10 months of not knowing if her sons were dead, alive, or worse. Mark says he's fine.
Lies!
But Oliver, yeah, he got absolutely bodied, eviscerated, packed up. Mama, I tried to warn Ollie, but he wanted to be hard-headed. He's still alive, just, you know, messed up. Mark looks away, but the moment he turns around, a thick, bulging hand has Debbie by the neck, revealing to be none other than Thrag, slowly choking out Mama Grayson and ripping her head apart. It's the way I screamed, because there was no way to just kill off Debbie like that. It happened so quickly that I had to rewind just to confirm what I witnessed. Mark is stunned, his face covered in his mother's blood, panicking before regaining his composure, realizing it was just a brutal hallucination. Girl, it's the way I was about to write the nastiest letter to the Invincible writers, Amazon Prime, Skybound, anyone who listened just for it to be a fake out. And there are many fake outs throughout the episode. You see, ladies and gentlemen, Mark has Thragphobia and PTSD. It's so severe, Mark has multiple panic attacks, envisioning Thrag and other Viltrumites pulling up to exact vengeance. Someone on Twitter says they haven't seen a cartoon PTSD like this since Robin from Teen Titans when he was tweaking out envisioning Slade. We have to remember that Mark is an extremely traumatized character from season 1 to now. He has been dealing with nothing but back-to-back trauma, and Mark hasn't talked to any professionals about it. It started with his dad, then Anissa jumping him, then Angstrom holding his mom and brother hostage, his evil variants pulling up and Milk Dud making a return. After that, Conquest makes his grand entrance, and then he gets belt to ass by Thrag, who wasn't even trying. He's just waiting for the other shoe to drop, knowing he destroyed planet Viltrum and has 40 pissed off space Yahtzees waiting for him. Meanwhile, Nolan is just hovering above the house until his former bae yells, "You fake ass, you let Oliver get hurt?" I know it's just her mama bear instincts taking over, but I'll defend Nolan on this. He was too busy getting swung out of orbit to protect Oliver, who had no business fighting Thrag alone. Debbie, annoyed with her ex, turns to leave, but Nolan is going to speak his mind. And just when I was slowly rocking with Nolan again, he pulled this nonsense saying, "Stop acting like you don't know me. You believe in giving second chances, right? Give me a second chance. We all know you will." Debbie, still stepping 10 toes down, says, "No, I don't have to give you anything." What makes it worse is that she and Paul broke up. They off-screened their breakup, and after that, my gut told me, yeah, Debbie and Nolan are gonna get back together, aren't they? Paul, being great, listens to Debbie venting and tells her she should go see Oliver, that she never let anything stop her before. Why should it be any different now? Back to Mark, he flies over to visit Eve, who is Miss Stickums. What's that one Madagascar song? Mark likes him round and plumpy. He got to work immediately. He went into town on that kitty kitty meow meow. And as always, they're back on that roof. And just when Eve was about to reveal why her powers disappeared due to her being pregnant, her head gets grabbed by Thrag, who's holding her up with Mark watching, and slowly crushes Eve's eye, popping out the other and tossing her body to the side. This reminds me of Steven from Steven Universe when he was having all of his panic attacks. Eve manages to calm Mark down and finally reveals that she was pregnant, and that was the reason her powers weren't working and that she had an abortion. And the amount of hate a fictional character has received for having an abortion was going crazy online. Eve was clearly not in the right state of mind to raise a child, let alone one with Viltrumite origins. Mark was away for 10 months. That's 10 months of her thinking Mark was dead. Not to mention, Eve wouldn't have the best support system. Her father Adam made it clear he heavily dislikes Mark, and if Eve were to reveal to her very conservative father that she's having a child out of wedlock with a man who jumped off to war, would have made Adam even more insufferable than he already is. And people keep saying that Eve wasn't alone, she had Debbie, true, but Mama Grayson isn't some superhero daycare. She was also going through it, not knowing what's going on with her sons that went off to war to fight the most powerful alien race. And you can't just expect Mama Grayson to give up more of her life for another child, regardless if she'd be happy to or not. Eve was most likely thinking from this perspective, and that it wasn't fair to announce a pregnancy on Debbie since she was already dealing with enough on her plate. If that's not worse, people were saying she should have given birth and pawned her baby off to the government. The US government? Big yikes. As if the government wasn't known for experimenting and turning anyone in their custody into a weapon. I feel like asking Cecil or the government with help for her Viltrumite baby wouldn't put her mind at ease. Also, people were getting mad at Mark for apologizing to Eve. What is wrong with people? He felt guilty that Eve went through this alone. For some reason, people believe Mark was apologizing that Eve got an abortion despite his apology never being about said abortion. And it's baffling. People are really getting upset over this while Nolan took 2,000 plus innocent lives. With everything happening in their lives, it was the best decision for them. We also need to understand that there is an intergalactic war with Earth in the middle of it. Mark's PTSD is out of control, Eve's mental health is in ruins, and they still need to be superheroes. All of this is happening in their early 20s. Let's also take into account if she had the baby and if Mark died, who's gonna protect Earth? It's not gonna be the immortal. The last time she fought a Viltrumite, her guts got rearranged. She wouldn't be able to protect her baby, so Eve definitely took into consideration the quality of life the baby would have had if Mark never returned and the Viltrumites arrived on Earth. We go back to Nolan standing on the snow-covered mountainside, the exact same spot where he nearly beat Mark to death years ago. Cecil shows up and Nolan informs them there's only 40 Viltrumites left, and Cecil starts popping off. There's 40 Viltrumites left. You destroyed their planet, giving them a reason to get their get back on Earth, the place they know your loved ones are at, and you consider this a victory? Listen, I agree on what Cecil is saying, but it's the tone and the way he said it. I know he despises Nolan and is mostly directed at him, but Cecil of all people should know how punishing it is to fight a Viltrumite. He had multiple instances where taking on one Viltrumite was the hardest difficulty. Imagine taking on 20 at once.
Until then, get the fuck off my planet.
Okay, Lex Luthor, Cecil really got balls of steel. Get off my planet. Mark's emotional spiral continues as he struggles with the ticking time bomb that is the Viltrumites arriving and beating himself up about not being here for Eve and her abortion. But Mark, hun, you were out there saving lives and fighting in a war. Out of everyone, you have the most valid reasons. Nolan pays them a visit and that he's heading back to Telestria to be with Oliver, and Mama Grayson decides to join Nolan along for the trip.
What about, Paul?
Not that it's any of your business, but we ended it months ago.
Yeah! Oh, better luck next time, buddy! Woo!
I'm talking about in it! I'm talking about in it!
And Debbie, I see you acting disgusted that Nolan has to carry you to the ship, knowing damn well you have Mark that can carry you to the ship. Nolan knew he was going back in there the moment she said her and Paul ended their relationship months ago. Mark meets up with Cecil to tell him everything that happened during the Viltrumite War, and the moment he closes his eyes and opens them back up, he sees Thrag bursting into the room and brutally executing Cecil right in front of him. Mark has been driven to his mental breaking point and that he's asking to meet a therapist. His PTSD and panic attacks have gotten so bad, he hasn't asked Cecil about CONQUEST once. Later, we see Mark going for a flight to clear his head, and suddenly his peaceful flight is interrupted when he sees Thrag. And you think this is probably another fake out hallucination. Mark shuts his eyes, takes deep breaths to compose himself, and when he opens them, Thrag is still there.
Yes, we are here.
R.I.P. Earth. So, let me explain your future. We will blend in with your kind, wear your clothes, walk in your society, and breed more Viltrumites. Nolan told me Earth has the best poom poom and schlong in the universe, and that poom poom and schlong will help repopulate and rebuild our empire. We see Lucan took over Steve Harvey's identity, Anissa is walking around mad as hell, and receding hairline already got himself a baddie. Krieg just discovered Black and Mild and motorcycles. That man is not coming back to the Empire. I need you to understand, Mark. We will decimate this planet and make the remaining survivors our slaves. Do you accept my terms? And of course Mark accepted because he had no other choice but to accept. And he already tried and failed to attack Thrag. It was either let them get their freak on with the people of Earth or watch billions of people get clapped. This season ends with Alan watching a holographic message left behind by Optimus in case he get bodied, and reveals to Alan to use the perfected Scourge virus and eliminate every last living Viltrumite. Damn, Thrag was right about Optimus. He was gonna pack up the entire Grayson bloodline. Optimus says it is a necessary evil for the greater good, and that since Viltrumite and human DNA are so similar, it could wipe out all humans on Earth. He's telling Alan no matter what, even if it costs the lives of all humans on Earth, no Viltrumite can remain alive. Why am I in it? So genocide of a whole species to take out another is wild. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Invincible Season 4 has ended, and they recently announced Season 5 returning for 2027, so they're still keeping up with the yearly releases, and they play too much saying CONQUEST will not be back. No shit. Well, let me know your thoughts, opinions, and feelings on Invincible Season 4. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the notification bell to never miss an update, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!